I'm Mauro Gori. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. I'm working on a technological innovation project on the relationship between local authorities and other public authorities. It's not just a question of efficiency of lighting in public spaces, but also public buildings. So I'd like to start by talking a little bit about a project that was implemented in Rovereto in Trento. It's a project called Manifattura, manufacturing, and it encompasses 62 innovative startups, all working on green projects. Muteky is one of these. It is purely Italian, and it's a spin-off from the Padova Centre of Research and Development. And after 4 years, it has actually produced a very efficient light bulb for the lighting of public spaces, such as parks and streets. And it has been patented because it's a particular type of LED. LEDs, some are good, some are better than others, but they're here to stay, and they're widely used in public spaces. It was a Japanese researcher who discovered that you could actually get white light covering with a yellow, because formerly it would only generate white light, but a yellow bulb will now produce white light. So we, rather than blue, we work together with a big company which is called Osra. It's not Italian, it's a foreign company, but we work closely with it. And this is a company which has enabled us to take forward our projects effectively, so we can guarantee an LED up to 25, 26 years. The downside of it is the electronics underlying it and the technicalities of the lighting system, because the LED ultimately is efficient for 5 years, some 90 to 92% efficient for the first 5 years, but it then declines to about 70%. But it will probably stabilize at a slightly lower level and will then be guaranteed for some 50 years of a shelf life. We don't have that yet, but we're working towards it, and we need to see whether this will work in practice. So there are a number of important issues that we need to address. Many things are said about lead, true and untrue. Many say that it's bad, that it pollutes the environment, and that it generates problems. Well, if you use it improperly, if you buy an LED bulb and you then put it somewhere in your house or the garden or the street without having investigated the technology, then you might be using it wrongly. These days we're using high-tech technology in many different ways, including LED. And I think that LED is, of course, to some extent a parallel with laser. There will be constantly new LEDs approved. For example, light bulbs can reach 600 meters. The world is progressing at an amazing speed. And the more progress we make, the more careful we have to be that we're doing things properly. We need to have people who are technologically competent, and we need to manage the progress properly. For example, we use bulbs now that contain mercury. They're going out of use now. And we're moving over much more comprehensively to LED, which is efficient on average to the tune of 60% more. Mercury steam, it is over 100% more efficient. The important thing is that when you move over to using an LED bulb, you need to do a proper study. You need to know the technology of the lighting so that the engineer has explained to you exactly how to use it and in what way to install it so that you get the most out of it, because with the same power you will achieve much more light. Blinding light on some occasions, so it has to be managed properly. The other thing, of course, that we need to recognize is that we can change the categorization of the street lighting. We could cut it from category 3 to category 2 now, and it would still be perfectly safe, and this would reduce the consumption without a particular impact on visibility. Then another thing that's important about LED is that these days it is becoming more and more widely used on the market. Local authorities are very interested in it because it's efficient in the street and in parks. And families are interested in it as well. It's more and more being used in domestic premises because of its energy efficiency qualities, which are considerable. So in the distribution project, with the local authorities, we've actually created Infinity Hub, which is a hub where experts come together to work on networking houses. This is because energy efficient local authorities mean that it is possible in the future to reduce the CO2 emitted in a local area considerably, and the local authorities are able to pass on the technology and involve private houses in it. And what is done in terms of financing with the local authorities can be rolled out to domestic premises so that the citizens also can get the benefit of this. Thank you.
Anche a te.
Grazie.
Ciao.
Ciao. Grazie mille.
Thank you. Thank you for being so brief.